Okay, boys. So what are we looking at? We're looking at Run Install for Kiel, and the best place to look is what they have done last year and what they've done for how many years. So Kiel, different than Brilliant. Brilliant reduced guys. They shot a lot of guys. They sent guys. Brilliant or Kiel plays everything straight, right? So it's going to be a 43 over. Doesn't look like they move much out of that. What they do is kind of like what we do. We play pretty straight and we play real disciplined. So their ends are good ends. So what does that mean? That means like when we're running power or any kind of like handback stuff or any kind of like buck stuff or anything where we're pulling, we have to understand like if we're pulling against a guy like this, they're not going to run up field. We're not going to be able to bounce them out. What's probably going to happen is they're going to squeeze and we're going to have to log. So the first guy's going to have to log and then the second guy's going to extend the play. So what we think against Kiel is that plays are going to bounce to the outside. When we run like H speed stuff, like H speed steal and Z speed read, we think that their ends are probably going to reduce if they're well coached, and those things are going to bounce to the outside. So we'll talk about that. Some clips I want to look at. I want to talk about logging. I want to talk about smart splits. And then when Coach Shilcox gets you, he wants to talk about what our pass looks like, or what we're doing as an offensive line when we're running like our Fox and stuff like that. So he's got more specific stuff, like with the play action, what he wants that to look like. Okay. So I'm going to take care of smart splits and I'm going to take care of logging. So let's take a look at them first. What you're going to notice with this end right here is just how well they squeeze. So they're coming up field, but they're not getting beyond heel depth. And then when they see that tackle go down, boom, 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 they're hip to hip. And the clip that I marked here, as I said after this game, I said, this guy will make us better. Okay. He just did a really good job. And so this kind of woke our eyes up, if you remember last year. I think your quote was, as a team, like, this is the first time that you got punched in the mouth last year was this game. Like, guys just came at you and played good, solid football. And that's what that end did right there. And that's not a bad play on Justin's part. That's just a guy really doing a nice job. So we're assuming they'll be well coached again. We're assuming their ends are going to squeeze tight and do what they're supposed to do. Okay. Next clip, 73. So 73, I want to talk about smart splits. Anytime we pass, we don't have to smart split. We can take our normal 2.5 yard splits. Why? We just don't want to create any windows, right? So we have 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. That's a little bit big, but 2.5. Right? So normal splits when we're throwing the ball. Next clip, 74. Now when we're running power stuff, we can smart split. What does a smart split mean? That means if there's a guy inside your gap, you have to stay at 2.5. But if there's nobody inside your gap, you can take your guy and start walking him out. That's front side and back side. Why is it important to have backside splits? Because if you only split on the smart side or on the play side, that would give defenses an indicator of where you're running the ball. But if you're able to smart split on the play side and the back side and play around, then you can't. Then they can't get an indicator. This is a power left. So Christian knows that he has to get left. So what he was doing last year, he's like, okay, I know I have to get left. So my smart split, I'm going to reduce a little bit so I can get there. And then Odin's thinking, and you'll see it later, well, if we're trying to kick my guy, I'm just going to keep walking him out, and see how far he goes. Vogues couldn't smart split because he has a guy in his gap. 75. Front and back. So now we're running an ISO here. This is a nice smart split because I think we're running the ball over here, but on the backside, they're like, well, we might as well trick these guys into thinking that it could go here. So he can't smart split. There's a guy on his inside. He doesn't have anybody on his inside. He can smart split. And then over here, it's a 3-tech. So the only smart split could be between here and here. We couldn't smart split between here and here because Odin has a guy to the inside. I said, if he keeps following, if that 3-tech keeps following, you just keep going and keep walking them out. But that looks good with a backside. Next play, 76. We're going to look at this for two reasons. Okay, right now we got a smart split over here. There's a one text. This guy can't smart split. He can smart split. This play, Christian's pulling, so he decided to close that thing down right here. And then the other thing we have to understand is if we're pulling now, is it going to be a kick out or a log? If Kiel plays the way that they've traditionally played, we're going to log. First guy is going to pin this guy in and log him because this guy we're anticipating is going to squeeze down hard. There he's in, pin him in, then we bounce it to the outside. That looks good. So we had smart splits on that one, we had logging on that one. Let's go to 77, we should have both on this one. We're running a power to our left. Christian closed it down because he's pulling, and then Odin started walking this guy out because there's nothing inside to hold him. Bogues can't move, he's got a guy in his inside gap. We're thinking same thing, you know, Odin's going to get inside of him, but how far is this guy going to squeeze down? If we can kick him, but if he's really good and getting down, we'll just log him. See what he does. He's coming down hard, you log him again. And then the play extends. So this makes sense, right? Like if he comes up field, we kick him out, the play goes inside, and then if he squeezes down, we log him, and then that play extends outside. Right? 78, we should have an example of both here. We have a smart split over here. Okay. And we're running a power left, so Christian's like, well, I'm not going to smart split here because I want to get over there. Owen's trying to walk him out. And then we should see, is this going to be a kick or a log? Our assumption is if they're playing good football like they've traditionally done, that should be a log. He comes down, we log it. 79, we should see a smart split play here. Oh yeah, power pass. So we don't want a smart split on pass, right? We just don't want to give up any open windows in case they decide to come. But they really don't. You know, they're pretty fundamentally sound football team. Clip 86. All right, so now we're running a Q trap. Look at, check out this smart split over here. Okay, Christian can smart split because that guy's on his outside and he'll keep walking with him. Bogues can't smart split because he's over here, but if Odin wanted to get a backside sucker smart split, he could walk that guy out too. Love this play. We're adding this play this week. We're going to call it a 679. So we're going to go 679 Q power trap. So we're going to mesh across here, and then Justin's just going to follow this kick out here. Look at how it's set up last year. Right there. Now think about this, boys. Their end squeeze really good, right? Not so much on the interior. Watch this guy right here. He decides, well, I'm coming up field. That should be an easy kick. Let him come. Christian goes wide. Boom. Look at that alley right there. It's beautiful. That's going to be good. Next play. 87, 89. Same thing. Q power trap. Smart splitting. Odin, or the left tackle, can smart split if they want here because there's nothing holding them to the inside. And Christian's got a big, healthy smart split here, and this guy just keeps walking with him. So we come up. He still comes up. He squeezes a little bit better, but look at that gap right there. It's nice. And look at what Chase occupies. He occupies that one tack and that backside linebacker. Last one I want to show right now. No, two more. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to call trail right and left out of like 529, or truck right and left out of 529. or we can even call veer right and left at a 529. But what we're going to do is we're going to check to, kind of like Roncalli, wherever you see that one tech that's where we want to run the ball. So if we took a look at this thing, we can check Louis here because you see where the one tech is? And we could smart split this if we're going inside. Normal split or tight split if we're trying to go outside, right? Do you understand how that works too? Smart splitting. We go outside, we bring our splits in. If we go inside, we bring our splits out. Okay, but we can check right or left. We want to just find out where that one tech is and then go from there. So we're just running a trail. Just call it inside. Indy, Indy, Indy. Odin can smart split, take his guy out. One-on-one, right in there. Boom. We like that. And I think this is the last play. But what I like about this one is we're running an H speed, I believe, over here, and we're reading this guy. Really good read here. But this is a backside. This is kind of a sucker. He can't smart split. He can because there's nobody in his gap. But he's kind of selling it to the side. So that's kind of cool. Here comes the speed and the read. Boom. And when we're running speeds this week, Z speed, H speed, we think because their ends are coached to get down inside that we should be able to get around them. Okay. So let's take a look at what we think is going to be our new plays this week. Not new plays, but just stuff that we like. 679 key trap right. All right, so we're going to go 6. $6.79 key trap right. And so we're going to trap this guy. It'd be nice here. We can smart split that guy. I can't move these guys right now. And we'll just come into here. And we'll come here. Boom, boom, boom. However you guys want to do it. Like one guy's got to go on here. One guy's got to go here. Or you could go here and here. That's up to you two. So you two figure that out. And then Chase comes across. Jab. He kicks. Boom. We like 679 key trap right. Next thing that we're going to put in 479 trap right spy. 479 trap right spy. So the spy is that little linebacker back there. So we're coming here. $4.79. We're going to trap this guy still. They should still probably regard this as a strength because we have twins out here and we have our H out here. So we think we'll see our one tech right in here. And we're spying this guy. Boom, boom. However we want to do this. Boom, boom, boom. We're kicking here. Boom. And you're just spying. He jumps this thing. Boom. We're going to pull off of that. Okay. If this guy starts creeping in, what we'll do is we'll call this a 472. You know what? Let's just change it right now. I just changed it. Let's go 472. Trap right spy. Because now at least we get this guy honored right here. And then we can block here and you can, this is your spy guy. Okay? 472 trap right spy. Next. 602 Z speed right read. 602 Z speed right read. That's a bear. 602. Z speed, right, read. So what we think on here is, hey, guys, we're going to read this guy here, and we think that they're going to crash. So we're going to be here, 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 here or here, inside or outside release, and then up to here and here. Probably inside if you can, and this motion just comes across here, and then we're reading. We think that, let's go inside right there and double that thing hard, because if this guy's well coached and he sees this guy across the space, he's going to hammer this thing down hard, which means we should probably be able to get it out in space. So we're going to call that Bear 602. Bear 602, Z, speed, right, read, like that. Next one, Bear 402, H speed, left steel. Let's go Bear 402. H speed, left steel. Same thing. If this guy's not walking, bubble him, fast him, do something out here. Number 1, number 2. This is our 2 guy over here. And we'll come down into here. Leave him. Boom, 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 boom. Motion, boom. We think this guy's, they're taught to squeeze if this guy goes inside. And then I think we should be able to get right off the edge right there. Okay. So we're calling that one Bear 402, H speed, left, steel. What else do we like? Oh, wow. I like 529, trail, you check, right? Whatever your side, you see that one tech. So we have something like, looks like this, 5. $29 trail, 529 trail, and you just check Roger Louis. On this one, I'd probably just check Louis, and I'd smart split this thing if you could, right? Move this guy out here, see if he walks with you. He probably will. Then we can go here, here, boom, boom, and then you stop. He isolates, you trail. If you saw the one tech over here, Roger, Roger, or whatever your call is going to be. Next, 529 truck. You can run truck to either side too. Now, here's another thing I guess we didn't understand that well, is one man over on truck. If you have one man over on truck, we saw guys like coming and they would go like this and they would stop right there. Or this guy would stop right there. That's not your guy. You have to look, who's the next man over, right? So I want to get all the way over to here, and I want to get past this guy, and I want to get to that guy, and I want to get past to that guy, and I want to get past to that guy. Now on the outside, we can find the closest threat, but on the inside in here, it's always one man over. It's always a dead sprint, right? So this is 0 and 90. Find your 45-degree line and go. 0, find it, go, 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 go. Just throw the gas on, okay? Fight that backside arm across. You're not trying to turn anybody. You're not trying to pin anybody. You're trying to run that backside arm through, okay? If you check to toss this way, you're trying to run through him, run through him, run through him. Don't worry about this guy. Run. This guy's going to pick him up. Run, 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 run. That's a toss. Because as you're running and you get these guys moving in a direction, then if this gets turned up, he's got something to cut back on. If you don't do that, there's nothing to cut back on. Okay. Truck. I like 529, zone right steel. I like zone left read. And again, I'd probably check it to the one tech, and then we can walk this guy out. Okay, do our smart splits here. Boom, 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 boom. Zone right steel. Conversely, if they move the one tech down on this side, if they put this tackle down into a 1 and they move this guy up to the 3, then we would check that to a zone left, read. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? So we got 529. Truck either way, 529 trail either way, 529. We either have a zone steal or a zone read. What else we got here, boys? Got that, got that. We've got a 402 G Blast right steel. Just so you know, because they play things straight. Like if you looked at Brilliant, you really couldn't play like power or a lot of pulling games because they were sending so much stuff. So what did we do in the second half? You know, talking to Odin and Schramm and Jaden on the sidelines. They're like, they're coming from everywhere. And I said, well, what do they do? And they said, just run zone, right? So all we just started running was just zone stuff because that covers up. We don't need to do that this week because they stay home and they play disciplined football. So now we can move around a little bit here. So we're going to go 402 G Blast right steel. We go here, and here, and here, and here. We anticipate the 1 here and the 3 here. So all we're wrapping in this way. And we're not going to block number 2. Number 1, number 2. So let's leave him. Climb there. Boom, 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 boom. That's who you're pulling off the steel. Okay. Next, 602 GT left read. 602 GT left read. 602 GT left. We still think there's 3 is going to be here. So we're going to read number 1, number 2. Remember, sucker's number 1 and steal and read is number 2. So we'll go up to here. We got that guy. And we're going GT left. So remember, there's 2 guys coming, so we can leave 2. Boom, to the backside, down, boom, 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 boom. Will he squeeze down? I think he will. He'll probably be pretty good, so you'll just have to gauge to see if you can get around him if he reduces and squeezes. Everything that we did in the last couple weeks I like. Power, Q power, ISO, and trail out of 439, 479, 639, 679, 432, 472, 632, and 672. And then the last thing, which I think you'll like, we're going to go Grizzly 465. So Grizzly, bear means tight over here, right? Big bear is over here, unbalanced. But if we go Grizzly, it's tight here, it's unbalanced, but now he's down here. If you remember this. So we're going to go 4, 60, 5. Okay. Grizzly 465. So now this, we're going to put Kobe here. You're going to be our Y. And this will be, you know, Odin, Ethan, Jaden, Eljo, or Ashton. I'm sorry. Ashton, Ethan, Jaden, Aljo, Hogan. This will be Kobe. And then this will either be DeAndre or Cole. Whoever wants to really get on a block, get after somebody. We'll figure that out. And then back here in the 465, we got Chase, we got Max, and then you got Christian right here. So these are basically the plays that we're going to run out of here. First one we're going to write is just, I don't know what we call it, Chase, right? And boom, 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 boom. Max, find some kind of inside pocket. Christian, find some kind of outside pocket. And then Chase, you get your pick here. Wherever you want to go. Okay, so the first thing we could do on that is we could just go Grizzly 465. Chase right. We could go Grizzly 465, Max left. Something like this. Boom, 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 boom. Chase find an inside pocket. Christian find an outside pocket. Max, take your pick. Where you want to go. Okay. We could go Grizzly 465. We could go Christian right. So we're just going to jam this thing up in here. Boom, 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 boom. Chase cross here. Max in here. Christian, you go wherever you can find some space. Christian right. Grizzly 465. Christian left. Oh, come on. Let's do this. All right. Grizzly 465. Christian left. Boom, 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 boom. Christian find a pocket, inside, outside. Follow one of the boys. Grizzly 465. Chase right pop. Boom, 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 boom. Oops, boom. You're taking the fake, Chase. You're inside. You're outside. You're taking the fake. Max is running the pop. Grizzly 465. Max left peak. All right, let me do that again. Chase right pop. Max left peak. So now we're picking on this guy over here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we don't have to block that guy. Leave that guy. Oh, sorry. Chase is inside. Max, Christian's outside. Max takes the fake. And you see, Justin, if this will is biting or not. Okay. And then we can add like trail out of this too. But let's start with this one this week. Bear 65. Chase right, Max left, Christian right, Christian left, Chase right, pop, Max left. Sound good? That's run install stuff for the week. What do I think it's going to look like? I think it's going to look like power game. I think it's going to look like power, Q power, ISO follow, buck sweep, hand back, speeds, 8 speeds, Z speeds, and then anything out of 529. Trails, zone reads on steals, trucks. Cool. All right, have a nice week. Smell you.